Hello everyone, yours truly, Chrislevi13, and right off the bat, I hope everybody is doing great both personally and professionally in their lives. Because for me right now, both personally and professionally in my life, I'm doing pretty damn great, and it's an awesome feeling. And also, in a few weeks, there will be E3 2018, which I am very excited for because I'm excited to see what Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and all the developers and everybody says, whether it be for hardware, software, games, this, that, the other thing. I'm really excited for it. More excited than I've been in a long time. Excited to see what Microsoft says because I am an Xbox One person. I'm also excited to see what PlayStation and Nintendo and the developers say. It's going to be a really awesome time. But this video is not about that. This video is about me showing a little bit of footage from Final Fantasy X for the PlayStation 2 that I played via a PlayStation 2 emulator, which is called PCSX2, because PCSX was an emulator for the PlayStation 1. PCSX2 is an emulator for your PlayStation 2 games. It's an emulator that you get up on your computer, you download the emulator, and then you gotta find the BIOS file for a PlayStation 2 and you add it in there, and then if you've got ROMs, ISOs, or the game itself, you're able to play it. And the way that I do it is I have a laptop with an external CD drive, because my laptop didn't have a CD drive on it, because I bought a laptop to have more RAM, have more power in my laptop. I opted out of having a CD drive. So a couple months after having my laptop, I went and bought a dedicated CD drive. And I'm playing my games by saying, hey, I've got Final Fantasy X, which you'll be seeing right now, and then I'll continue my conversation. You'll see Final Fantasy X. There's some footage there that I captured, and I was talking in that footage, which I might share that footage in a video for you all soon. But yes, that's me playing Final Fantasy X, and the way that I did it is that basically I took the disc out of here, this disc right here, I took it and I loaded it into here, and then when you upload, and then you load it into, you upload the program, which is PCSX2, and you go and you go right in there and you click on what you need to, and you go in there and you make sure that it finds your disk drive for your system, and then bam. And there's two modes that you can boot the emulator in. You can boot it in full mode, which does the PlayStation 2 intro screen where you see where it comes up, says PlayStation 2, and has all that stuff. Or you can do the fast mode where it skips the PlayStation 2 intro and it goes straight into the game itself. And I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy X, and definitely people have seen me. You've probably seen it. You can look on this channel and see several streams of this game, which I'll be doing more streams of this, and there'll be some more streams of this, because when it comes to solo streams on my channel right now, I'll be doing this because of the hype for the Kingdom Hearts series. I'll be doing this because this is nostalgia, and this is my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. And then I'll be doing some more. I will bringing back sometime this week. I'll be doing, or next week, I'll be bringing back some Borderlands 2, because it's another game I'm doing. But I do have some special streams lined up. I've got a horror stream lined up. I want to, within the next couple weeks, maybe month or two, do a Halo week where I do Halo streams, or maybe do a week where, hey, I'm playing this Telltale game, and each day you get a different episode of that Telltale game. But that's just some of the things that I'm thinking of doing for you all. But that's just for stream-wise. But when it came to this emulator, because I never thought about using a emulator on my computer, because I've seen, hey, people are like, hey, these clone systems are basically taking what would happen on the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Genesis, and they're just like emulating it. They're emulating the 8-bit 16 world. Well, I was born in 1991. And I remember I played on a Nintendo Entertainment Center. But I remember the early game I remember that I probably played was Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, because we owned that system. And then I remember when I got old enough to actually start, physically holding a system and all that, it was PlayStation 1. Me and my brother owned it, and then I went to PlayStation 2. He went to Xbox, Xbox, and then I went from PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360 to my Xbox One, which I have my Xbox 360 actually sitting down there. I have my old PlayStation 2s sitting there, and they don't work. But I never thought about using an emulator, but then I started going, you know, I want to grow my content on this YouTube channel from me just talking about games and me just playing games that are accessible on the Xbox One, whether it be Xbox One games or backwards compatible games from the original OG Xbox or the Xbox 360. So I was thinking, hey, I'm looking for, I started shopping around to YouTubers and people that I chat in their stream and say, hey, I'm looking for a PS2. Do you know any that are cheap? You know, because I saw some around the $100 price range, a little bit over $100, you know, that were used. But a lot of the used ones I found had big scratch marks on them, had this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, you know, I don't want one that's scratched up, I want one that's fairly new. And then I even tried to look for some new ones, and new ones, they were outrageously priced, you know. So I was like, okay. And so one of my friends, he said, well, you know, if you, in the time being, until you actually find the PlayStation 2 that you want to get your hands on. And at the same time, I was also looking at some PS3s, early model PS3s that are able to do backwards compatibility with PlayStation 2. And I was like, you know, this is what I'm looking for, yada yada. And he said, well, you can emulate. So I finally one day said, hell with it. I'm gonna go and see if there's a PlayStation 2 emulator. And I found PCSX2. Because I heard it was the best emulator from a YouTube video I looked up. Because I looked up on Google and YouTube, and I put it in, and it took me about 30-40 minutes. I kept trying to, I downloaded ISOs of several games, and I was like, or ROMs, and I was like, this ain't working. So I deleted all that, and I was like, well, let's put my disc in there, just see if it can play the disc somehow. And I was like, what's this do? And I was like, it's finding my disc file in my computer, just bringing it up. Okay, let's click on it, boom. It started working. I put in Need for Speed Underground, which it worked that game pretty damn good. I was like, it's doing this game pretty damn good until it got into the game, and that was one of the games, bam. But when I put in Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, Soul Calibur, Final Fantasy X, Ratchet and Clank, all those games, and I think there's some old racing game, other racing games like the Corvette racing game, Super Truck racing game. I put them all in, and they ran smooth from the audio to the frame rate, all that. I mean, there was a few seconds here or there that it may drop down to 50, 40 frames per second, but most of the time it's staying around 60 frames per second. So this PCSX2 is a very, very capable emulator, you know. And I've never been a big guy to say, hey, I'm gonna push emulators, I'm gonna do this, you know. But if you don't have a PlayStation 2, but you have PlayStation 2 games, and you have a really good computer that can probably handle this, then go look up on the internet PCSX2. Look it up on YouTube. Look at how to install it, how to make it work, and check this out. Because if you don't have a PlayStation 2, this is a good substitute for it until you get a PlayStation 2 or something like that. Because I actually like using this emulator, and I'll continue to use it, but I'd rather have the PlayStation 2 and physically be able to load a disc in there and then present it for you all through an HDMI adapter, which would call me, you know, which I don't know how much a PlayStation 2 adapter is. If you do all know, send it my way. But yeah, right there on the screen, I'm just talking a little bit in that video right there, but that's basically how the PCSX2 looks. Which some of the games, if you have a powerful enough computer and you set some of the things, you can even make some of the games through this emulator look better than they originally did on the PlayStation 2, because, well, you're using something that has better graphics card, better internet. Then you take that game and you're just kind of upscaling it, basically, essentially. But I just gotta say, me doing that for like about 30-40 minutes there the other day was really, really awesome to jump into Final Fantasy X. That's basically just the start of the game. And then even after I did that day, later that night, I did do a Final Fantasy X stream, which you can check out on this channel. So yeah, I'm Chrislevi13. Remember, go check me out all across social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm mostly active on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, and right here. The Twitch is there, but I'm not as active there. But yes, if you want to go check out an emulator for a PlayStation 2, this is the emulator to go check out. But anyway, I'm Chrislevi13. I'll see you all later. Remember, what I say at the end of my videos that I want each of you all to do, all you people, whether you're young, you're old, you're new, you're old, you've been here a long time, you've been here a short time, whoever you are that sees this video, what do I always tell you to do? Oh yeah, that's one thing that I love doing, and that's sending positivity your way. So everybody, I'm Chrislevi13. I'll see you later, and stay awesome.